Children, welcome to Guru Gobind Singh Public School and Junior College. Dear students, today we are going to learn subject geography for standard 7th. Dear students, let's start to understand lesson number 8, how seasons occur, part 2. Here are the learning outcomes of the lesson. To learn about apparent movement of the sun, to understand the aphelion and perihelion position of the earth, to understand how seasons occur on different latitude, that is Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, Antarctic Circle and Arctic Circle. Last, to know about equinox, summer solstice and winter solstice in detail. Now children, today we are going to understand the following topics, that is apparent movement of the sun, perihelion and aphelion position of the earth and equinox. Students, before starting the lesson, let's recall what we had learned already in How Season Occur Part 1. Dear student, in that we learn about the time taken by the earth to rotate around its axis is 24 hours. The time taken by the earth to complete one rotation is called a day. The direction in which the earth rotates is west to east. The northern hemisphere has the longest day on June 21st. The northern hemisphere has the shortest day on December 22nd. So now children, let's start to understand what is the in How Season Occur Part 2 lesson. Friends, can you tell this activity is given on page number 46 in your textbooks? Let's start to do this activity, dear children. Here are few questions given. Children, you have to discuss the activity you have been carrying out since June month. Make use of that observation table for the month of June, September and December. Okay, already we had done that activity. Now children, here the question is, in which month the duration of the day was around 12 hours? Answer for this, the duration of day was around 12 hours in the month of September. Second question, what will be the reason behind it? Dear children, the 12-hour duration of days in the month of September could be because the north and the south poles are at equal distance from the sun. Now the third question, bring out the differences between the duration of daytime in the month of June, September and December. Dear children, the duration of daytime decreases from the month of June from around 13 hours to September nearby around 12 hours and to December around 10 hours. Now the fourth question, what will be the reason for the change in the shadow of the stake? The change in the shadow of the stake occur because of the change in the position of the sunrise and sunset. Now the last question, what did you observe about the position of the sun at the horizon at the time of sunrise and sunset? Dear children, the position of sun at the horizon during the sunrise and sunset started shifting towards the south from around 21st June onwards, and after 22nd December the position of the sun at the horizon during sunrise and sunset started shifting towards the north. Now children, here the next question, which of the following factors will be related with us? The changes in the position of the shadow of the stick and the differences in the duration of daytime. So there are rotation of the earth, distance between the earth and the sun, revolution of the earth and the axis of the earth. So answer for this is, from among the factors mentioned above, the factors which will be related with the change in the position of the shadow of the stick and the differences in the duration of daytime are revolution of the earth and the axis of the earth. Dear student, the next topic is the apparent movement of the sun. Children, you must have realized through your observations that the position of the sun at sunrise appears to change on the horizon every day. Its position appears to move towards the north or south in the course of a year. However, in reality, the sun does not move anywhere. That is why this movement of the sun towards the north or south in a year is called the apparent movement of the sun. So, children, in a simple words, we can say that the movement of the sun towards the north or south in a year is called the apparent movement of the sun. Okay. So, the position of the rising sun keeps on moving towards the south in the period from 21st of June to 22nd December. So, children, this period it is called as Dakshinayan. Okay, and the next one, the position of the rising sun keeps on moving towards the north in the period from 22nd December to 21st June. Dear children, this period is called as an Uttarayan. Children, the revolution of the earth around the sun and the tilted axis of the earth are the two factors which are responsible for the apparent movement of the sun. Students, now the next topic, that is perihelion and aphelion position of the earth, which we already learned about it. You know the concept very well. Children, the path of the revolution of the earth around the sun is elliptical. Okay, so the sun is at one of the two centers of the ellipse. Children, the sun does not changes its position as the earth moves in an ellipse. Okay, so its distance from the sun does not remain same. So here we can get a two terms, that is perihelion means minimum distance and aphelion means maximum distance. So let's learn it more in detail now. Now the first one, aphelion position of the earth. Okay, so in the first week of July, the earth is at the furthest point from the sun. In this position, the northern end of the axis is towards the sun. Dear children, this is called the aphelion position. Term, that is perihelion position of the earth. Children, in the first week of January, the earth is at the minimum distance from the sun. In this position, the southern end of the axis is towards the sun. So, dear children, this term is called as perihelion position of the earth. Dear students, with the help of figure 8.1, which is given in your textbook on page number 46 and 47, children, here the figure shows the position of the earth in relation to the sun. You can guess which season prevails in which hemisphere. Seasons occur due to the revolution of the earth as well as due to the tilt of its axis of rotation. So children, let's start to learn the question and answers of this activity. Dear children, the first question is, how is the northern hemisphere in which you live positioned relative to the sun on the dates given in the figure? Children, the position of the northern hemisphere relative to the sun on the dates given in the figure is mentioned below. That is, on 21st March, that means a spring equinox, the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere are both at the equal distance from the sun. On 21st of June, that is summer solstice, the northern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun while the southern hemisphere is away from the sun. And children, on the 23rd of September, that is autumnal equinox, the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere are both at the equal distance from the sun. Children, on the 22nd December, that is winter solstice, the northern hemisphere is tilted away from the sun while the southern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun. Now the second question, which season will you experience in the northern hemisphere around 22nd of December? Children, around 22nd of December in the northern hemisphere, we will experience winter season. Third question, what will be the season in the northern hemisphere around 21st of June? Children, around the 21st of June in the northern hemisphere, it will be a summer season. Next question, if it is winter in the northern hemisphere, which season will be in the opposite hemisphere? Opposite hemisphere means which hemisphere, children, here? Means southern hemisphere. So answer for this, if it is winter in the northern hemisphere, it will be summer season in the opposite hemisphere, that is southern hemisphere. At any given point of time, why are the seasons in the northern and the southern hemisphere different? Children, at any given point of time, there are different seasons in the northern and southern hemispheres due to the inclination of Earth's axis at angle of 23 degree 30 minutes with respect to the verticals. Students, let's start the next topic, that is equinox. Okay, so as the earth revolves around the sun, the equator receives perpendicular rays on 2 days in a year. This condition occurs on 21st of March and 23rd September. On these days, both the poles are at the same distance from the earth. So children, this is called equinox. Children, the circle of illumination divides all the parallels from the North Pole to the South Pole equally. Everywhere on earth, night time and daytime are of equal duration. This condition is called equinox. On equinox, the sun's rays are perpendicular on the equator. Dear children, in this condition, the circle of illumination coincides with the great circle defined by two opposite meridians. In the northern hemisphere, spring prevails from 21st of March to 21st of June, while autumn prevails from 23rd September to 22nd December. The southern hemisphere has the opposite season during this period. Dear children, in the northern hemisphere, 21st March is called spring or vernal equinox, and whereas 23rd of September is called autumnal equinox. Okay children, so the equinox or solstice dates can vary by a day or so. Yeah, children, what we understand today, just have a quick recap about it. Children, we understand about the apparent movement of the sun, perihelion and aphelion position of the earth, and equinox. Children, on the taught topic, you have to complete the given assignment in your classwork notebook. Children, question number 1. Draw the diagram from textbook, figure number 8.1, 8.2 and 8.3. You have to label it also. Then question number 2 is complete the statements using the correct options, which is given on the page number 51. Children, I hope that you have understood the taught topic, and then also if you have any queries, let me know about it. Till then, thank you very much.